video is brought to you by Atiya's Ethereal Hair Growth Oil. Tube of the U, what the f is up? It's your girl Atiya here to bring you another video. Y'all, I'm trying to make the world a better place, hence why I'm doing all these how-to videos. And today we're going to talk about how to avoid a horrible experience at an Airbnb, y'all. I'm talking about having 26 roommates. I'm talking about bugs flying from the skies. I'm talking about having crazy hosts. Like, we're about to get down to nitty gritty and teach you how to avoid having the worst housing experience ever. Okay, so as you guys know, I love to start off all of my videos with a story because what's better than an Atiya story time story? So last year, so in 2017, I had a trip to LA planned with my dad, and we planned for him and I to stay there together for a week, and then I was going to stay by myself for an extra week so I can go and do some auditions and take some classes and give out my resume and certain things like that. So when I got to my Airbnb, I believe the first Airbnb experience I had, it was a house. Like, I'm trying to think what Airbnb, I can't remember what my actual first Airbnb was. Maybe it was that one. Now that I think about it, somehow, long story short, it ended up being a shared Airbnb. Now, for those of you who don't know what a shared Airbnb is, it's basically like going to an actual bed and breakfast. So instead of having the whole entire house to yourself, you'd have one separate room. You could possibly share a bathroom, or you could have your own bathroom. You might just share a bathroom with the people on the top floor, which is what I ended up doing. Now, the only problem is that I'm one, a germaphobe, and two, I'm an only child. So one thing I like is my privacy. And I remember every time I stepped out my door, this lady would come out and want to talk to me. I felt like she was listening to see when I was gonna come outside, because she would just magically be out there ready to talk. And I remember one time I was talking to her. You know, you gotta talk to people, but you I know that, yes, that's crazy, right? What? Wow. Y'all, you know those conversations, those are the ones I would have with her. And then on top of that, I was staying with people of all different nationalities. No shade, no racism, no whatever else there is out there, y'all. But we all don't have the same hygienic practices. It's just that. And I'm talking about hair being left in the toilets, hair being left on the floor or in the shower, just gook and wet floor. And it was just, I was not prepared mentally or physically or whatever. So otherwise, that was probably really the worst thing about it. Sometimes I felt like my TV was too loud, but you just don't have privacy, and that's what I needed. So this leads me to tip number one. I'm going to start this over because I just wanted to be able to say tip number one. Oh wait, no, I wanted to say tip number one. Make sure you filter your residences. Fuck it. So you usually have some options. It's usually shared home, shared room, entire place. I forgot what the other option is, but I always, no matter what, choose entire place. After that experience, I just can't. Unless, you really just have, a quick getaway. One time, my boyfriend and I went to Maryland. We did a shared house, but we were literally, on the top floor with our own bathroom, which is important. And they had a dog, which was really cool. But we were on the top floor, so I don't even think we saw our neighbors at any point. I actually remember sitting outside the car, waiting for them to go inside so we didn't have to, interact with them. But that was the only time that we didn't do an entire house. So that's tip number one for y'all. Tip number two, book with a super host. If you're trying to save money, sometimes it's not always going to be the easiest to book with the Superhost, because Superhost houses are usually about $100 and up a night. But that's not necessarily true. I've had Superhosts who have had like $40 rooms. I never booked them, but you know, it just means that basically their house is really tidy. They haven't had a lot of complaints. They probably hosted a lot of people, or a specific amount of people, in order to be considered a Superhost. Or you can book an Airbnb Plus house, which is usually super luxury, usually has very professional pictures, but you want to make sure that the hosting experience is good. I've heard horror stories, once again, from family members of mine who have... Sorry, my cat's trying to get in. Hey! Yeah. Like I was saying, I've heard horror stories from family members who have literally had crazy Airbnb hosts who have like tried to become their friends and like take them out to eat and like keep checking on them and keep trying to talk to them, and they're like, damn, like I'm here trying to vacation and you're here trying to be my friend, like this ain't it. So definitely want to make sure that you're booking with a Superhost. If you don't book with a Superhost, you're not gonna die. I mean, I can't guarantee that, but no, I'm playing. It's just I prefer it because I love to know I'm gonna get the best, because I'm the best. But no, seriously, I have booked with hosts who are not Superhosts, and I had a beautiful experience, so just keep that in mind. Tip number 3, check for a cleaning fee. If you ever need to remember a way to remember that, just say that mantra. Tip number 3, check for a cleaning fee. Y'all, one time we stayed at this Airbnb and it had a hot tub in it. My boyfriend spent 2 hours cleaning out the hot tub. Like, I literally am like itching right now. 2 hours! Because it was literally like brown stuff like coming up from the jets. Like, oh my god, I'm disgusted. But like, he got it clean. Like, I promise I'm not like infected with any like crazy hot tub disease. But it was like disgusting. Luckily they had a whole bunch of cleaning products, but I think their cleaning fee was like $10. And we booked the place. We're like, oh, this place is really nice and it's really cheap, but like, it wasn't worth it. On the flip side though, because there's always a flip side, I have heard of people who have gone to Airbnbs with low cleaning fees and they haven't had any problems. So really, you might just have to go with your gut. But my next tip will actually probably help you figure all of this out. Tip number 4, read the reviews. That goes for anything in life. Like, I am such a review reader. I want to start becoming a review giver. Like, I've given reviews before, but they're usually if I just have like a really bad or traumatic experience, y'all. Reading reviews has saved me so much time and so many horror stories and so many horrible experiences. I remember I was gonna book this place for my birthday in Miami, and every place I looked at, but specifically this place, I was like, damn, this place is beautiful. Like, great price, great location, blah, blah, blah. I'm reading all of the comments, and all of them are literally saying that it's too loud, there's a club downstairs, you can't sleep, the picture frames are falling off the walls, like it smells like cigar smoke. I don't know, like it was just a whole bunch of crazy things that you would have never known just looking at this hotel or looking at this picture, like this boutique. It was like a boutique villa Airbnb thing, whatever. Whoa! Anyways, y'all, that's how passionate I am about reviews. I'm choking. You gotta read them. Like, I know that if I would have read the reviews for a couple of these other spots, they probably would have saved me a lot of time and embarrassment. And a lot of customer service phone calls. Because I know it can be so hard, you know, to judge. But anyways, read the reviews. Another great thing about reading reviews is that there might be certain nuances that you didn't pick up on. Like, you might think from the picture that it's a 2-bedroom apartment, not knowing it's a studio, but they've just decorated or taken the pictures in a way that make it look like it's a 2-bedroom apartment, and you didn't read the specs, so you wouldn't know it's a studio. So, tip number 5, read the specs. Like, read the description. Usually, everything you need to know will be in the description, besides the pros and the cons, which is what the reviews are for. But, for instance, if you think that the property may have a private pool because of the pictures, 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you in the description that it's a shared pool. Even though the picture looks like it's a private pool, you know, you never really know. It will say shared pool. So the descriptions are just good to help you get kind of some extra information on the place that you may not be able to pick up on based on the pictures. Tip number 6, check the location. If you're trying to go to Miami, one thing that I've recognized is that the host will say like Miami Villa, but then it will be in like Coral Gables, or it will be in Little Havana, or it will be in Little Haiti, or it will be in What's another one that I've seen before? Coconut Grove. So I know that those aren't all South Beach, and I feel like usually when people want to stay in Miami, they usually want to stay in South Beach. So you want to make sure that even though it might say like Airbnb in Miami, that you're looking at the location and making sure it's exactly where you want to be in Miami. Same for LA. Like, yeah, you could be in LA, but there are a whole bunch of different parts of LA. There are some neighborhoods that aren't so great. There are some neighborhoods that are fabulous. So you just want to just check. And even if you see some place and you don't really know what it is, but the Airbnb looks nice, double verify where that location is and Google Earth it to see what the hell is around it. Because I learned from a very bad Airbnb experience recently that you need to check your surroundings. I remember we were pulling up to the Airbnb. Me and my boyfriend were like, oh my God, this is nice. It's getting less nice. What is this? Ah! So like, you want to make sure that you know where you're going and so that you're not shocked when you get there. Okay? Please, take it from me. Tip number 7 can actually help you and a friend out. What you're going to do is you're going to check in with your best friend and see if they have an Airbnb account. If they have an Airbnb account, ask them to send you a referral link. So before you even do any of this, and this probably should have been tip number 1, but I would definitely do this because one, before you book your Airbnb, you can get, I believe, $40 off of your trip, and then your friend can get $20 off of their trip after your trip has ended. So you get the referral code from your friend, you create the Airbnb account with that referral code, and then you can get that money. So you want to make sure that you skip to tip number 7 before you book your Airbnb so that you can hear this part and get your discount. And I think that's it. So I can think of, those are all the tips I can think of for right now. I'm going to be making a follow-up video sharing some crazy Airbnb experiences that I've had, or even crazy Airbnb experiences that people I know and love have had. And if I come up with any more tips, I'll let y'all know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helped you have the best trip ever. Go live your best life. I can't wait to come up with my own catchphrase. So I'm just going to stare at the camera awkwardly until this video ends. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. See ya. Okay. Alright now. Alright. Yeah, okay.